What's up, human friends? This is Techie the Tiger, and I'm coming at you with another tech video. This time I'm going to tell you how I went from the Surface Go to the Surface Pro X and why I went with that choice. Um, I'm pretty sure you're aware there's a lot of videos going out there that's basically saying how the processor is not ready right now. But for someone like me, I was able to make it work. And you can pretty much watch this video and see how my story played out and how this was the right choice for me. So sit back, relax, and take a look and see how I chose the Surface Pro X. Mainly, I'll be comparing the Surface Go to the Surface Pro X. I decided to upgrade from the Surface Go to the Surface Pro X, knowing there are plenty of videos out there saying why you shouldn't get the Surface Pro X, which gave me a hard time deciding between the Surface Pro 7 and the Surface Pro X, saying which one I want to go with. But of course, as you notice, I went with the Surface Pro X. So in this video, I'll be basically telling you what made me choose the Surface Pro X, why I decided to upgrade from the Surface Go, and what I used my Surface Pro X and even the Surface Go when I had it, what I used it for. I had the Surface Go from the moment they were released. I didn't get the base model of that one. I ended up getting the 128 gig SSD with 8 gigs of RAM, which was the second one up. It was great for what I was using it for as a secondary device. It was also like my Windows device because I'm an Apple person. So I mainly took it to work with me and just when I traveled around because it was like the size of a medium book, so it was perfect for traveling. Some of the other things I used it for, it was basically full Windows. So if I had a situation where I needed a Windows device, it was a full Windows device. It's great for taking notes. Had full Microsoft Office. It was good for sketching on. I put asterisks on that because my main drawing device is my iPad Pro. Managing emails, social networking, and also the main thing I used it for was media consumption, like Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, music, watching anime. Even though it was great for what I was using it for, after using it for about a little over a year now, I thought it could be better. The 10-inch screen, it is great for traveling, but the size could leave you wanting more. Like when you're surfing the web and for sketching, the screen could come in times to be just too small. During my daily use at work, it's like an 8-hour shift. Halfway through the day, I would have to find myself charging the Surface Go. So the battery wasn't that great, but it served its purpose, but it wasn't the greatest. And due to the processor, I would find doing things like surfing the web, watching YouTube, and loading apps on the Surface Go. At times, it could be a bit sluggish, and that's because of the processor it had, which was like equivalent to an Atom processor, which was about right for its size. It was like a netbook is the best way to describe it. I chose the base level Surface Pro X, which is the 128 gigs of SSD, 8 gigs of RAM, and LTE, and the Microsoft ARM processor. Comparing it to the base level Surface Pro 7, of course, it costs more. The brightness, the resolution, the screen size is higher and bigger. It features LTE on the Pro X, and it has a slimmer design. There also is no headphone jack, which many people already know that, but I only use Bluetooth anyway, so it wasn't really a big issue. Yes, the processor and the graphics card are better on the Pro 7, but of course, as you'll see watching this video, you'll see that wasn't a big deal for me going for the Pro X. After weighing out all the programs and activities I'd be doing on my new Surface, I chose the Surface Pro X. Coming between the Surface Pro X and the Pro 7, the X, for some reason it still draw it to me. I've had it for about 2 weeks now, and I can honestly say I love it. The 4K resolution and HDR is great for when you watch YouTube videos. The processor loads the basic tasks that I do very quickly. LTE is a great convenience. So if I find myself in the point where I would need the internet somewhere that don't have the internet, is easy as putting a SIM chip in there and I'm ready to go. The larger screen for sketching, web browsing, and note taking is the best. And I go a whole day now on a single charge. That's like my whole 8-hour work shift. And coming home and still playing with it for a few more hours before I need a charge, which in my equivalent is a whole day. So I think that's a win-win. With that, the Surface Pro X, of course, does have its cons, and the ones that I faced when using it within the 2 weeks, the first thing out the gate, which is the most common thing due to the processor, was applications I couldn't download were Sketchbook and an Android emulator due to that ARM processor. But every other program I use, it all loaded fine. If not that particular app, even from the two that I described, I was still able to find some kind of alternate to use the same thing or something better. So, and so far, I have not hit a wall yet using the Surface Pro. Now, keep that in mind. I'm not like a full-time YouTuber on this device or using Photoshop, or it's my main drawing tool, which I'm gonna try and get to that point one day. Well, not my main, but at least my second option. But long story short, it's not my main tool. So for what I'm using it for, it is perfectly fine. Also, it doesn't have a headphone jack, and it doesn't have a micro SD slot. So all those things I can deal with. Some of the things I've tried on it so far, which you can see in this video, I've watched a number of anime. That's mainly what I'm doing when I'm at my downtime. I pretty much load my Surface Go X. Well, I'm saying Surface Pro X with anime, and I just watch it, and it's absolutely a great experience either on the Go or on the Pro X. So if you're big on watching videos, stuff like that, either one you won't go wrong with. Just for the heck of it, and every Surface I've ever had, I always did this too, but I always go to my emulators just to see how well they work, and so far there's no problems, no hiccups, no anything using emulators. I always go to my arcade emulators, my GBA emulators, and my SNES emulators, which of course they all run smoothly, and you can use your Xbox controller if you have one, PlayStation 3 or 4 controller, so that's also a plus. I'm also capable of streaming on the device as well with the different companion apps from Xbox and from PlayStation. So if I'm in my house and someone else wants to watch TV, or I go to my mom's house or somewhere and I don't have my Xbox with me, I can basically pick up my network over her internet and be able to play my game over the internet by streaming it. And of course, it works flawlessly. And I've also used the app Sketchable, which is like in my opinion, so far out of the ones I've tried out, is one of the best experiences using on this Surface Pro X so far. There's plenty others out there I need to try, but this is just my first go around with it, since I don't have Sketchable to play with. So I have to find an alternate, and it's like the next closest thing I've seen so far. Still waiting on Fresco, by the way. So in conclusion, I absolutely adore the Surface Pro X. The screen is great. The sound is great on it. I like the keyboard on it. I like the rechargeable pencil. I didn't think I was going to get used to it, but I actually like it. What I didn't mention in the video was the fact that it has the instant on. That is an amazing feature for me. So just say if I close it tonight and wake up in the morning and try and finish where I left off. If I was watching the video tonight, as soon as I turn it on tomorrow, it's still waiting on me to watch that video in less than a few seconds. I don't have to wait for it to boot up, to start, or think about it or anything. It's just like instantly comes back on, which I think is a great feature. Overall, I absolutely love it. Again, out there, this device isn't for everyone. And of course, if you've seen many of these videos, you would know that it is not the choice for everybody. But in my case, it was a good choice for what I do on an everyday basis, which is mainly media consumption. It's just something that's a secondary device. So if you're looking for something for a secondary device and you have the money to spend on it, because it is definitely not cheap, and the Surface Go is just too small for you, it is definitely a good upgrade from the Surface Go, in my opinion. And that's when I was looking at it, making that decision between the Pro 7 and the Pro X coming from a Go, it seemed to be a good choice for me. I can't vouch for everyone, but if someone's looking at this video and trying to make that decision, you may be able to look for it. With that being said, if you have any questions, feel free to put them in that comment, or if you have suggestions for me or anything you want to see me try on it, definitely put it in that comment. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can see many more videos like this and my Tech of the Tiger head. And as always, thank you for watching this video. And this again is Tech of the Tiger, and I'm signing out. Hit that like button.